You're listening to Too Much on Her Plate, the podcast for smart, busy women who are tired of running on the hamster wheel and are ready to create freedom from overeating and emotional eating. I'm your host, clinical psychologist, author, and a smart, busy woman too, Dr. Melissa McCreary. Today's podcast episode is a bit different than my other episodes. So do me a favor. After you have listened, let me know what you think. Let me know if something like this is helpful and if you would like to see more of this on the podcast. This is an episode that is definitely not one that you want to listen to while you are driving a car or operating heavy machinery, because we're going to do some guided visualization today. I'm going to ask you to listen to this episode in a place where you can be undisturbed for about 10-15 minutes and where you can feel peaceful and safe, where it is okay for you to let down your guard. So what is a guided meditation, and what does it have to do with cravings, with emotional eating, with mindless eating, with stress eating, with trying to change your eating and your overeating in any way? And why am I talking about this with you today? Let me give you a little background information, and then in the future, if you decide you want to use this guided visualization, again, you can just start at the place where the visualization exercise starts, and we will actually bookmark that for you in the show notes. We'll let you know where that is. So here's the thing. It is much easier to know what you don't want to do than it is to know what to do instead. And maybe you've had that experience with raising your kids, or some other situation in your life where you went into it being crystal clear about the things you weren't going to say, the things you weren't going to do, the strategies that you weren't going to rely on. And then I remember this as a parent, finding myself in the midst of that situation. I could feel it in that moment. I knew the words I didn't want to have come out of my mouth, and I didn't know what to do instead. Creating a new set of possibilities and creating a new way of being, or creating a new set of thoughts around food, around eating, around what it takes to make changes, that can all sound really good when you are listening to somebody talk about it. But in that moment when you have a craving, in that moment where it just feels like all you want is the chocolate, or all you want is to finish that helping even though you're really, really full, in that moment, it can be very difficult or feel even impossible to know what to do instead. And there's a reason for this. Our brain needs to be in a particular place or functioning in a particular way for us to be able to be creative. And it takes creativity to come up with new solutions. It takes creativity to think about a different way of handling something that you are used to just responding to habitually. And if you think about the times that overeating can be most challenging in your life, if you think about the times when you are most vulnerable to being triggered or feeling like you just don't have it in you to not give in to emotional eating or to not just wander into the kitchen, those are the times for most people when you're depleted, when your energy is low, when your resolve is low, and you don't really have a lot in you to stop and think and construct a response that might work better for you or that you might feel better about 12 hours from now. I think of guided visualizations as a super easy plug-and-play strategy that you can use even when you feel like you just don't have much to give at all. Now think about it. You have a soundtrack that runs in your head practically 24/7. And by soundtrack, I mean the thoughts that you are always thinking, that silent dialogue that you're having with yourself, the names that you call yourself, the way that you talk yourself through a task. When it comes to changing your eating, one of the first most powerful things you can do is start to rewrite that soundtrack. Start to choose thoughts that empower you to make the changes that you want to make, and start to notice the thoughts and the beliefs that you have that may be giving food more power, may be leaving you feeling less powerful, and that may be creating vicious cycles with food and with overeating. Try out this guided meditation when you are struggling with cravings, when you're struggling with an urge to overeat, when you find yourself in the midst of a day with a lot of mindless eating going on. use this guided visualization as a way to practice creating a new relationship with hunger and a new way to practice having a new relationship with cravings and with food. Try it out. And again, let me know what you think, and let me know if you'd like to see more things like this or hear more things like this on the podcast. Find a place where you can relax and be uninterrupted for the next few minutes. Get comfortable, shake out your shoulders, lean back in your chair or lay down in a comfortable place, close your eyes, and take some deep breaths. Give yourself the gift of these few minutes. Breathe in and exhale. As you continue to breathe, I want you to focus your attention on what you're aware of inside your body. What are the sensations that your body is feeling? Is there tightness? Is there stress? Is there sluggishness? Continue to breathe, continue to relax, and notice whatever you observe about what you're feeling inside your body. Take a big inhale and exhale, and ask yourself what you know about the level of hunger that you're feeling. Physical hunger. Just let the question float inside you. Are you hungry? Does your body need fuel? And as you ask yourself this question, I want you to become aware of, notice where your attention goes. Where do you look to start to identify what your level of hunger is? And notice whether there are any feelings or thoughts that come up around this. A thought might be something like, well, I shouldn't be hungry, or I should be hungry, or I'm so frustrated because I don't even know that I'm hungry. And notice the feelings that come up for you when you start to ask yourself, am I hungry? And what do I know about my hunger? And just notice, there's no right answer here. Take a deep breath and exhale any stress or judgment or tension that's come up from poking on this question. And just breathe in and breathe out. And as you notice what's going on inside you, bring your attention to the thoughts that you're having. What are the thoughts that are going through your head? Are there thoughts about food and eating? And if so, what are those thoughts? What are those stories? What are you telling yourself about your cravings, or about why you need food, or whether you need food, or whether you should need food? Take a deep breath and focus on staying as relaxed as possible, because this topic of food can bring up some stress and sometimes some emotion. So breathe in and breathe out. What do you know about what's going on inside your body, how your body is feeling? What do you know about your thoughts? And what do you know about your emotions? What are you feeling right now? And if you can put a feeling word, if you can label the emotion to the experience that you're having, I want you to see that feeling, that word, really clearly. And if you feel comfortable, I want you to say that word or those words out loud. I feel anxious. I feel calm. I feel bored. I feel unsettled. I feel confused. What do you know about the emotions that are going on inside of you? And can you put a name to them? Take a deep breath in and exhale. And ask yourself what you know about what led to this situation. What was going on around you when the craving started, or when you started to have that urge to get something to eat? What were you feeling? What were you doing? What was going on inside your body? Had you just finished something? Was there something coming up next? Who was around and what was the energy like? What do you know about why this is happening now and not an hour from now or a day ago? What led up to this? No judgment, just be curious. Just notice what you notice. And as you breathe, it's a good time to remember that this moment and what you are experiencing and feeling and thinking right now is only this moment. And it will pass. If you allow it to, the feelings, the thoughts, the experiences will pass as you move into the next moment. How would you like to feel 15 minutes from now? Would you like to feel calm or peaceful or focused? Would you like to feel joyful or confident? What's the feeling that you would like to have in the moment that will happen 15 minutes from now? And how would you like to feel inside your body? How would you like your energy to be? How would you like that moment to play out? And how would you like to feel at the end of this day? What are the emotions that you would like to have? How would you like your body to feel? How would you like your energy to be? How do you want to feel? The story that we tell ourselves about what food will do for us when we don't need fuel, those stories are often big and broad. It will feel great. It will be a reward. It will be my freedom. And yet the truth is, those things are often so short-lived. So see if you can connect the dots between how you feel now and how you want to feel later. And then I want you to think about what you know about what self-compassion and real lasting comfort look like for you in this moment. What do you know about what you need? What do you know about the best way, the best doable way to show your self-care and compassion and real comfort right now? And remind yourself that comfort is not numbness. Comfort is not a pushing away. Comfort is not the band-aid that food places on things. Take a deep breath in and then exhale. And remind yourself that sometimes in our wisdom, we know exactly what we need. We know how to take care of ourselves. And sometimes, no matter how wise we are, we don't know what to do. Sometimes the kindest, most compassionate thing we can do for ourselves is to know that we are in a place where we need something, where we want to feel cared for or comforted. And to say with honesty, this old habit is not going to do it. I deserve better than this. And I don't know what I need right now, but I'm working on that. Sometimes that is the kindest, most compassionate thing we can do for ourselves. So breathe in and notice what you know about you right now. And notice that the moment that was happening when you started doing this breathing has passed. And now you're in a different moment with different choices, with different possibilities and opportunities. This is a new moment. Take a deep breath. And as you exhale, remind yourself that you are enough. You have taken charge of this moment. You are creating the next moment. And step by step, you are creating peace with food. If you like what you've heard, subscribe to the Too Much on Her Plate podcast and take 30 seconds to leave a review. If you're ready to tackle your hidden hungers, then come on over to toomuchonherplate.com. That's 2TOO muchonherplate.com and take the Hidden Hungers quiz. It's free, and not only will you be able to pinpoint your best place to start, you'll get the resources you need to take your next best step.